Today's lesson, lesson 5.4, is proportion story problems. The learning goal is I can solve proportion story problems. You can refer to lesson 4.3 in the textbook on solving proportions for more help. Let's begin by reviewing some vocabulary. Proportions are two ratios that are equal to each other. An equivalent ratio that look different but are the same. So here's an example of an equivalent ratio. Because when you simplify 2/4, it equals 1/2. And also as a decimal, it's 0.5, and this is 0.5 as a decimal. Let's look at some story problems. Number 1 says the corporate building event will cost $6 if it has 6 attendees. If there are 5 attendees, how much will the corporate team building event cost? Assume the relationship is directly proportional. So we'll start off by underlining important words. The cost will be $6. So I'll start with 6. Next, I'll do 3 attendees. Next, I notice 5 attendees. This next part is really important here. The attendees must go underneath this fraction here. It's important to be consistent. So if attendees is here, attendees needs to be here. And then we'll put an X above our attendees here. Now we solve our proportion. So we'll begin by doing 3 times x to get 3x. Next, I'll do 5 times 6 to get 30. Do you recognize what we have here? Now we have a one-step equation. So we divide both sides by 3. And to get x is equal to 10. So it's $10 for 5 attendees. Let's go to number 2. Mitchell took a total of 16 quizzes over the course of 2 weeks. How many weeks of school will Mitchell have to attend this quarter before he will have taken a total of 40 quizzes? So again, we'll underline important words and begin to write a proportion. "40 quizzes." So my question to you is, does quizzes go on the top or the bottom? Well, quizzes goes on the top. Now we have a proportion. The left side is the right side. We can go ahead and solve. 16x on the left side. 2 times 40 is 80. Now we divide both sides by 16. To get x is equal to 5. So x is 5. Let's continue. Harold earned a total of $15 for 3 weeks of yard work. How many hours in all will it take Harold to earn $30? So again, we have 15 is equal to 3 hours. Next, he earned $30, so we'll put the dollars on the top. Now we can begin by multiplying this direction to get 15x, then multiplying this direction to get 90. My 15s cancel out, and I get x is equal to 6. So x is 6. So how many hours how many hours will it take Harold to earn $30? 6. Let's continue. Christina jarred 8 liters of jam after 2 days. How much jam did Christina jar if she spent 5 days making jam? We have 8 liters over 2 days. Equals 5 days. And then we just go ahead and solve our proportion. We get 2x is equal to 40. Divide both sides by 2. And x is equal to 20. So how much jam did Christina jar if she spent 5 days making jam? 20. Number 5. Eve prepared 5 kilograms of dough after working 3 hours. How much dough did Eve prepare if she worked for 6 hours? So we have 6 kg over 3 hours. Next, we have 6 hours, so that goes on the bottom, and x goes on top. 3 times x is 3x, and 6 times 6 is 36. Next, I'll divide both sides by 3 to get x is equal to 12. So x is equal to 12. So how much dough did Eve prepare if she worked for 6 hours? She prepared 12 kilograms of dough, and that actually makes sense because for 6 kilograms, 3 hours of work, she just took and doubled that to 12. Number 6. Zach's retirement party will cost $16 if he invites 4 guests. What is the maximum number of guests there can be if Zach can afford a total of $20 on his retirement party? So let's set up a proportion. So we have $16 over 4 guests. Next I have $20, so that'll go on top. And I'll put an x underneath. Now I can go ahead and solve for my variable. So I get 16x, and then 4 times 20 is 80. Next, I divide both sides by 16 to get x is equal to 5. So x is equal to 5. And that makes sense because if it's $16 for 4 guests, well, one more guest is going to be $20. So there's 5 total guests. So today, you learned how to solve proportion story problems. If you need more material on solving proportion story problems, you can refer to 4-3 on solving proportions in the textbook. Thank you.